We are on day 11 of the 30-day emergency fund savings challenge. I am so excited. I want to hear from you in the comments below. How is it going? How are you doing? Are you hanging in there? Are you still pumped? I'm pumped and I'm so excited. Day 11, so we're gonna get started right now. Hey everyone, this is Lauren Mack with Hacking the Rat Race, and I would love for you to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos of this 30-day challenge or on money, saving, and investing. So let's get started. Again, we are on day 11, and today we're gonna be saving $12. Yep, guess what? We're not going up. We saved $12 yesterday, and we only have to save $12 again today. Get your emergency fund envelope. Here we go. Take your envelope, put your $12 in the envelope for a total of $79. We have $79 in our envelope, and again, if you aren't putting it in an envelope, you're putting it in a savings account, perfectly fine. Move it right on over. You should have $79 in your savings account. I'm so excited. Way to go. All right, so today we're going to dive right into our tip. And this tip should be super easy to implement and actually over time can have a huge impact. So today's tip is to buy generic brands at the grocery store. Some of these can save just a little bit of money per item. Some of these can literally save dollars per item, which over a month, with the amount of groceries that you buy, and especially over a year, can save so much money. And oftentimes, the generic brand is exactly the same. So today, I am going to give you the top 10 things that you should get at the grocery store as a generic brand versus the regular brand. And if your grocery store is like mine, you might have a few different generic brands to choose from. So I would recommend, if you don't like one, trying another one. Because again, there are some generic brands that I absolutely love, and I love them more than the name brand. So if you're trying to go hard this month and save a lot of money, then maybe go for the cheapest one just for this month. But on a go forward basis, to save money overall, you can experiment. Try the different generic brands, try the cheaper brands, and see what you like. So one of the number one items to save money using the generic brand is buying bottled water. This is if you have to buy bottled water. Obviously, if you don't have to buy it, the tap water at home is amazing, or if you have a filter, again, way cheaper than buying bottled water. So if you don't have to do this, that's great. But if you are buying bottled water, then I would definitely recommend looking at some of the generic brands because it can have a pretty massive savings. The next one is baby formula. And again, this is another one where the generics are very close and in some cases probably better. And you can save so much money because baby formula is so expensive. So if you're not already, definitely look at getting generic baby formula. The third one is milk. Milk is very expensive at the grocery store, and the difference between name brand and generic milk can sometimes be dollars. So I would definitely consider when you're going to the store trying different brands of milk, the generic brand, and see which one. I literally have been drinking generic milk forever. I used to also drink name brand milk. Honestly, I cannot tell the difference whatsoever. However, the savings is huge. Okay, the next one is sunscreen. This one is massive and could even be the difference of several dollars. And here's the thing, for sunscreen, the SPF is what's really important. So again, if you're buying name brand or generic, they're not that much different at all, and you can save so much money. Sunscreen is already so expensive in and of itself, so definitely highly recommend getting the generic brand in this category. The next one is spices. I would highly recommend buying the generic spices. Spices can be so expensive. Again, this is another area where we could be talking about dollars and not just change. So if you don't already, I highly recommend getting generic spices. And again, there are so many different generic brands. So if you find one that you don't love, just try another one. But again, generic spices versus name brand, that could be a huge savings. The next category is personal care products. And again, this is another area where we're looking at dollars and not cents. Personal care products can be so expensive and the difference can be huge between generic and name brand. And again, there are a ton of generic brands for each kind of personal care product. So I would highly recommend testing them out, especially if you've tried one, maybe you don't like it, or maybe you love it. I want to hear from you also in the comments below. Do you already use some generic brands? What are your favorite? Share with the community so we can know which brands are great and we can try these brands. And I'll share with you some of my favorites in the comments below. The next category is canned vegetables and beans. And again, this is an area where it can make a huge difference. Maybe not as much as some of the other ones. This one we're not talking about dollars, it's definitely cents, but depending on how often you use them, it could make a big difference. And here's the other thing, if some of you already eat organic, say canned beans and canned vegetables, they actually have generic organic brands that are so much cheaper. The next category is plastic wrap and foil. And again, this is another area where you can save a lot of money, like dollars. And in some cases, literally, you can get double the quantity for still less than the smaller quantity of the name brand. So plastic wrap, foil, even baggies, all those paper plates, plasticware, whatever it is, if you're looking to have a party or just storageware, even like Glad plastic containers, those kind of things. If you look at the generic brands, oftentimes the savings is massive, so I would highly recommend considering them. And literally the difference between a Ziploc baggie and a generic baggie is almost nothing, except maybe a few colors, something like that. I would definitely recommend, if you're not already getting generic, to check it out, this category. It can save you so much money. The next category is baking supplies. Baking supplies are so yummy. They can also be so expensive, especially when you're getting name brand chocolates, things like that, like chocolate chips, or just different parts of the baking process. I highly recommend looking at generic, and even for things like baking soda, baking powder, literally flour, anything with baking, I would definitely consider using the generic brand. And here's the thing, if there's one thing that goes into your recipe that you really think needs to be name brand, then just look at making all the other items generic. It can make such a big difference and cut down the cost of your baking. And the last category is snack food. And again, depending on how much snack food you eat or how many kids you have, this can also be a huge savings. There are also many different generic brands or different levels of costs with snacks. I would highly recommend looking at the generic brands because again, if you or your family eat a lot of snacks, this could save you so much money. So I want to hear from you in the comments below. What do you think? Are you already using any generic brands? Please share them with us and please share your experience with us. I want to hear from you. Are you pumped up about this tip? Are you going to implement it? Thanks so much for watching this video, and I would love for you to hit the like button. It literally costs you nothing. It does so much for this channel and pushes this 30-day challenge out to people who need it to save up $500 in their emergency fund and get on their way to becoming financially free. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos in this 30-day challenge, as well as on money, saving, and investing. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.